Speed kills. Even as kids, playgrounds around the world are filled with races just to see who's the fastest. No wonder we obsess over speed. Being the fastest player in the league at any point puts you in a small club of players. But being one of the fastest players in history gets you on today's list. The fastest players in NFL history.
I was the fastest in my primary school. Not like primary school matters, but that's something to take credit for.
Well done. Well done, honey. Well done.
I
So proud of
competed
you,
as well.
darling.
Michael Vick. There's not a better place to start than the fastest QB to ever live. Vick mesmerized the world, doing things never before seen by a passer. Reportedly running a 4.2540 at the combine. It was primetime entertainment every time Vick suited up. Vick's speed wasn't exclusive to just straight line. Vick would often cut, shimmy, and fake before exploding through the open lane. He didn't need to accelerate. Vick started in 5th gear. Vick's start-stop blazing speed led him to being the first quarterback to rush for 1,000 yards in a single season. The worst thing that could happen to a defense is Vick deciding to tuck it and run. There's not a dual-threat passer that has ever had us saying wow more than Michael Vick. As a result, the 10th fastest speedster on our list is the all-time leading rusher at the quarterback position with over 6,000 yards on the ground. Cliff Branch. They say that Al Davis loved speed. He repeatedly overdrafted guys that had great speed. Maybe all that time he was trying to rekindle what he had in Cliff Branch. In the heyday of the Raiders, Cliff Branch was the biggest deep threat in the league. But before we get to his 3 Super Bowl championships, we have to talk about what Cliff Branch did as a sprinter. In the 1970 semifinal, Branch broke the 100-meter NCAA record at 10 seconds flat. And his speed translated to the league perfectly. He retired the all-time receiving yards leader in playoff history and had 3 straight All-Pro selections. It didn't matter who was throwing the ball to Branch, as he was just simply the fastest man of the time.
You know, when you got someone that fast on your team, as someone who's throwing the ball, you're just thinking, as long as I get it in that direction, like the accuracy don't need to be there 100%. It could be like 60%. I just need it to fly towards there.
Yeah.
And then he's practically got it.
He'll whiz through like a cheetah.
Yeah, that's it.
Is the NFL's pioneer speed demon, Willie Gault. Our next fastest player in NFL history actually competed in the Olympics, winning multiple gold records as a sprinter and relay runner for Team USA. In the 1983 World Championship, Gault was a part of the world record time 4x100 team. As a hurdler, he obliterated the world record time at the 1982 SEC Championships. Drafted in the first round by the Bears, they used his speed to blow the top off of defenses. And that's exactly what he did. With the legendary 1985 Chicago Bears team, Gault was the mercenary of speed. Whenever they needed a game-breaking play, they turned to Gault's game-breaking speed. In a huge game against the Minnesota Vikings, it was Gault's 70-yard touchdown grab that sprang the game open. You look along Willie's career stats, and every year he has a 50-plus yard touchdown. He even averaged 20 yards per catch. He was a pure speedster, controlling the game because he was just simply faster than everyone else around him.
He made everyone look like they're stuck in the mud. Well, he's just off.
He looks like he's gliding.
Yeah, you could just, you know when you could tell when you look at someone.
And he looks very light on his feet as well.
He was just moving.
Wow.
Literally like a cheetah in the wild, chasing its prey.
Randy Moss. Randy Moss was a long strider. At 6'4", it took him a little longer than other speedsters to get to his top speed. But once he did, there isn't anyone that could run stride for stride with him. The NFL found out quickly just how fast the freak was. At the Combine, he ran a 4.2540, and that speed terrorized the NFL, regardless of what jersey he had on. Randy Moss simply was faster, and knew he was faster. Everybody remembers Moss throwing his hand up running along the sideline, before he even had a step on D'Angelo Hall. He sprinted past Hall, running under a long bomb for the score. No single play shows just how big and fast Moss was, more than his Thanksgiving Day quick screen against the Cowboys.
The strategy against him, because the narrator said it takes him a little bit of time to get to that speed. The second he's about to catch the ball, someone needs to take him out. Because once he's off, he's off.
He's off.
Yeah, he's one of them guys because he's tall as well.
He caught the ball along the sideline and proceeded
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
angle the Cowboys had on him. All they could do was land one single hand on
It's like
him.
he's
But our
shifting
personal
gears.
favorite is
Yeah.
his bomb from Brady, where he outran 3 Jets defenders into the end zone. Randy Moss's speed was truly one of one. Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson, coming out of ECU, blew up the football world with his 40-yard run at the Combine. Nobody could stop talking about the number, 4.24 seconds.
Mad.
Chris Johnson shattered the fastest official Combine run by nearly 0.5 of a second. Drafted by the Titans, Chris Johnson's speed constantly showed up on game day. With the ball in his hands, Johnson effortlessly blew by defenders. Every time he caught a pass or took a handoff, there was a chance his speed would actually take the game over. If he broke the initial line of defense, Johnson was impossible to catch. His speed killed, making him the ultimate home run threat in the NFL. In 2009, Johnson ran into the record books. He ran for over 2,000 yards and broke the all-time single-season scrimmage record at 2,509 yards.
Record breaker.
He and his speed earned the nickname CJ2K. Just like Chris Johnson's record-breaking year, his speed is unforgettable. Tyreek Hill. A guy nicknamed
How do you even get quicker than these guys? I don't get how the list keeps going. The guys they've showed already is like crazy. So who's going to be number one?
There are freaks of nature out here, darling.
Well, this guy's got a cheater on his shirt, so
There you
he's
go, he's got
definitely
that there for a reason.
he's definitely not human.
Cheetah. Well, he's probably going to be on this list. We don't make the rules. But Hill's speed dictates the game plan for defenses. They change everything about themselves just to not get beat deep by Tyreek Hill. At 5'9", it's easy to lose Hill on the field. That is, until Mahomes finds him and he's throwing up the peace sign. In high school, Hill recorded both a 4.2540 and a sub-10-second 100-meter dash. At his pro day in 2016,
Oh my
some
God.
scouts hand-timed him at a 4.21 in the 40. He could have very well decided to run track for the United States Olympic team instead of scoring touchdowns for the Kansas City Chiefs. And hey, he still might. After their Super Bowl win, Hill vowed to run in the U.S. sprinting trials. The Sunday Night Football video comparing his time next to all the best sprinters in the world shows that he would not only be able to, but he'd be right in the mix.
And bear in mind, he's doing that with heavy helmet and stuff, like the padding and stuff. It's not the lightest of clothing. Imagine just in a vest. He's gone even more.
Yeah.
Now put that speed on a football field. You can see why defenses tremor the night before they have to play the Chiefs. Deion Sanders. Neon Deion. Deion is the flashiest player the NFL has ever seen. He was cocky and bragged non-stop.
One of these
He was
guys.
a great trash talker. Want to know why he could talk so much trash? Well, he knew he was the fastest player on every single field he stepped on. The urban legend goes like this. Instead of prepping and going through field drills at the Combine, Sanders showed up without warming up.
He's living rapper life, not
Yeah.
NFL life. He had shades on. He
It's
was like he's
true.
talking
He
to the
looks like a
camera.
rapper. He doesn't look like an athlete.
He stepped up to the 40-yard dash line and ran a 4.2 flat
Damn.
in street shoes. Then he
What?
immediately got back into the limo he came in and
Lambo.
left, proving everything he needed to. While we can't confirm it, it's been backed by pretty much everybody. When you watch Sanders effortlessly stick to the NFL's fastest receivers throughout his career, it makes the story that much more believable. Sanders may very well have run the fastest 40-yard dash ever, and he had all the charisma to go along with it. Bo Jackson. Speaking of urban legends, Bo Jackson's life is a literal walking urban legend. Everybody has a tale about Bo Jackson in the late 80s. But the NFL's Chuck Norris is more than just a story told in barbershops. He's arguably the most explosive athlete to ever live. In his pre-draft combine, they say that Bo Jackson ran a 4.12 40-yard dash. If that number sounds ridiculous, well, that's because it is. But don't fret. When they asked Bo what the actual time was, he finally spilled the truth. It was in fact only a 4.13 official time.
Only.
Good thing we solved that myth. A 4.14 time would make Bo by far the fastest player the NFL has ever seen, at a remarkable 230 pounds.
Big guy as well.
There may not have been another player on this list over 225 pounds. That would make Bo the fastest pound-for-pound man in NFL history. But that doesn't mean he actually is the fastest. We still have two more, including a legend that isn't talked about enough in the realm of speedsters, Bob Hayes. Bullet Bob Hayes is the definition of speed. He's the only true Olympic sprinting gold medalist to play in the NFL.
So a lot of these NFL guys are Olympic level athletes. Like they could just go and be
because they're so fast.
Track people.
Yeah. Something to look into if they don't want to play NFL anymore.
It's a plan B.
Yeah.
Where they don't have to worry about heavy tackles and stuff.
Yeah, don't have to worry concussions.
Concussion, yeah.
Still, the only gold medalist and Super Bowl champion in history. Bob Hayes' speed is legendary, and thankfully for us, it was also timed. Before the era of specialized training, Hayes broke the world record 100-meter dash, running under 10 seconds at the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. But the true test of Hayes' speed was in a 4x100 relay race, where opponents boasted that they couldn't win because all the U.S. team had was Hayes. As the anchor of the race, Hayes made a dramatic comeback win, running the fastest relay leg in history at 8.5 seconds. After the race, his teammate looked over at the other sprinters and said, "Well, that's all we needed." Hayes transitioned to the NFL, where he was drafted by the Cowboys. His debut in the league effectively altered the NFL forever. Because of his unrivaled speed, defenses invented both press coverage and zone defenses. Putting someone in man coverage with Hayes was essentially giving the Cowboys 6 points. In his first 2 years, he rewrote Cowboys record books, including 22 franchise marks that still stand to this day. Only one person in history can say he was so fast he changed the timeline of football. Bullet Bob Hayes was essentially the NFL's Flash.
If you're getting called a bullet for your speed, you know you're onto something, right? Who's number one?
Daryl Green.
Daryl Green.
Daryl Green is known across the football world for his speed almost exclusively. Yes, he was an all-time great cover corner, but it was his unmatched speed that people will always remember him for. It's not a surprise, as Green was a two-time All-American track star in college. From 86 to 91, despite being smaller than all his competitors, he was a first-team All-Pro selection at corner. This was a combination of having the greatest recovery speed ever seen and being a great technician. Green reportedly recorded a 40 time of 4.09 at the Washington Redskins training camp in 1986. He might have even been faster in competition than his college 10-second 100-meter dash, winning 4 NFL's fastest man competitions. When the event was retired, he was still the only undefeated multiple-time champion ever. So, what's the secret to Daryl Green's speed? Well, if you ask him, it's Tootsie Rolls. Green's pregame ritual included putting Tootsie Rolls in his socks. Daryl Green just proves that speed must live forever. He was clocked in with a 4.5 40-yard dash on his 50th birthday. But was he faster than Bullet Bob Hayes? Well, that's a foot race we'd kill to see. So, there you have it, the fastest players in NFL history.
So, that is a lot of speed on one video. Impressed?
Super impressed. Oh my God. Imagine the training you have to do, the recovery you have to do to maintain that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure on your body.
Yeah. And I think, because a lot of them will have a natural gift as well, but you have to work on that natural gift.
Yeah.
So like you said, the recovery, the effort, the dedication to take that to the maximum is a lot. But it gives them an edge, a competitive edge.
But like some of those athletes, they're just like, yeah, I'm fast anyway. Let me just put my shades on, with my bling. I got this.
He's making rapper money, that guy.
Yeah,
I like that.
Definitely is.
Guys, thanks so much for the recommendation. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We are reading the comments. Keep suggesting videos like this. We are